Hello students, welcome to today's lecture series on AGM 312, Agricultural Mechanization Study Section 2. The title of today's study section is Farm Power for Agricultural Operations. Introduction. Farm power is essential in input in agriculture for timely field operations for increasing production and productivity of land. Farm power is used for operating different types of machinery like tillage, planting, plant protections, harvesting and threshing machineries, and other stationary jobs like operating irrigation equipment, thresher, shellers, cleaner, graders, and so on. This study section will analyze farm power sources as well as merits and demerits of farm power sources. Learning outcome for study section 2. On completion of this study section, you should be able to define farm power, itemize and discuss various sources of farm power, state the merits and demerits of each sources of farm power. Definition of agricultural farm power. It is obvious that the first kind of power used in agriculture was human power, and all operations from land preparation through cultivations, harvesting, and processing of final products were performed more or less by hand. But as the need arises for the increased crop production, the development and inventions of heavier and more effective field tools and machines become imperative. Hence, heavier and bigger plows, harrows, mechanical planter, cultivators, ridgers, and harvesting devices were designed and introduced. But they require more and better power, therefore the ox and the more enter the farm power scene in appreciable numbers. Measurement of power. Power is measured in terms of work accomplished in a given period of time. A large tractor can do more work in a given period of time than a small tractor and therefore is said to be more powerful. The formula for determining power is the product of force and distance divided by time, and the unit of power is in watts or horsepower. Talking about horsepower is the most common used measure of engine power. The term had its origin in the era when engines were competing with horses as a source of power. An engine's ability to do work was compared with that of horses. 1 horsepower is equivalent to 4,500 kilogram meter per minute. Horsepower is measured by using dynamometers. Sources of farm power. Various types of agricultural operations performed on farm can be broadly classified as tractive work, such as seed beds preparation, cultivation, harvesting, and transportation. We also have stationary work, such as silage cutting, feed grinding, threshing, winnowing, and lifting of irrigation water. These operations are done by different sources of power, namely human, animal, mechanical power, electrical power, and renewable energy. Human power. Human power are the main sources of power for operating small tools and implements at the farm. They are also employed for doing stationary work like thrashing, winnowing, chaff cutting, and lifting irrigation waters. Of the total rural population of Nigeria, only 30% is available for doing farm work. The indications are that the decline in numbers of laborers employed for agriculture. On an average, a man developed nearly 0.1 horsepower. Then looking at the advantage of using human power, it's easily available and it's used all type of work. The disadvantage is that it is costlier power compared to all other form of farm power. Next, another type of farm power is the animal power. The most important source of power on the farm all over the world, and particularly in the northern part of Nigeria, is animal power. It is estimated that nearly 80% of the total draft power used in agriculture throughout the world is still provided by animal power. Its advantages are it's easily available, uses all type of work, can be used to do all type of work, supplies manure to the field and fuel to the farmers. Its advantages are it is not very efficient, season and weather efficient affects the efficiency, it cannot work in it cannot work at a stretch. The next form of farm power is the mechanical power. It is available through tractors, power tillers, and oil engines. The oil engine is a highly efficient device for converting fuel into useful work. The efficiency of a diesel engine varies between 32 to 38%, whereas that of the carburetor engine, which is the petrol engine, is in the range of 25 to 32%. The advantage of using a mechanical power is that the efficiency is high, not affected by weather, cannot run at a stretch, requires less space and cheaper form of power. The advantage of using mechanical power is that the initial capital investment of mechanical power is very high. The fuel is costly and repair and maintenance needs technological know-how. Electric power. Electricity has become a very important source of power on farms in various states of the country. Electrical power is used mostly for running electrical motors for pumping waters, dairy industry, cold storage, farm products, processing, and cattle feed grinding. It's a clean source of power and smooth running. The operating costs remain almost constant throughout its life. Its maintenance and operation needs less attention and care. The advantages of using electric power are that it is very cheap form of power, it has high efficiency, it can work at stretch, maintenance and operating cost is very low and not affected by weather. The disadvantages of using electrical power is that initial capital investment is high, requires good amount of technical know-how, and it causes great danger if handled without care. The last form or source of energy to the farm is the renewable energy. It is the energy mainly obtained from biomass, biogas, solar and wind, which are mainly used in agriculture for power generation and various agricultural processing operations. It can be used for lighting, power generation, water heating, drying, greenhouse heating, water distillation, refrigeration, and diesel engine operations. This type of energy is inexhaustible in nature. The availability of wind energy for farm work is quite limited. Where the wind velocity is more than 32 km per hour, windmill can be used for lifting water from a well to a certain height. Thank you for listening.